What's going on, guys? I'm King Majin. Come back to you guys with another video, and today I will be doing what if Deku had Cyclops' powers. I know I already posted another video today, but I want to get a second one out to you guys as soon as possible. Well, anyway, I hope you guys like it, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. And I will also be taking suggestions for what ifs I should do on my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. We would start this off with Deku and the rest of the class in their normal classes, not hero classes. It will be geometry taught by ectoplasm. Deku would be getting every question right, surprising the whole class, and especially surprising Momo. She would then think, he's not just cool, he's really smart. But then she would realize she said this out loud, and the whole class would then be looking at her, and she would just start to blush, as Deku looks at her and smiles. We would then cut to All Might busting into the door and saying, it's time for hero training. And he would then tell everyone to get in their costumes. In this scenario, I would think Deku would have Cyclops' costume from X-Men Evolution. Because, honestly, it's one of my favorite costumes, and I think it would look pretty good on Deku. Momo would then walk up to Deku instead of Uraraka, complimenting his costume. And Deku would look at Momo with a little perverted grin, and she would smack him over the head, saying, "Hey!" He would then say, "I'm sorry, I was just admiring how good you look in that." Then Momo would then say, "Thank you." Uraraka would then walk up and compliment Deku on his costume and Momo's costume. And Deku would say, "Man, I love this school." And Mineta would say it at the same time he did. Mineta would think, he's not such a bad guy after all. Because Mineta would think, oh, he's so cool, he's gonna get all the girls, and that won't leave any for me. But in this scenario, Deku and Mineta would both fist bump. In this what if, I'm gonna make Deku, I'm sorry about my voice cracking, in this scenario, I'm gonna make Deku and Mineta pretty good friends. Yeah, you guys, still sick. And still tired. Afterwards, All Might would then randomly select the heroes versus villains for the heroes. Sorry guys, I'm rambling on. All Might would then select the people for the heroes versus villains. He would grab Ida and Bakugo, and Deku and Uraraka. This would leave Yaoyorozu, aka Momo, to be, oh man, I wish I was on his team. All Might would then let Bakugo and Ida in and tell Deku and Uraraka to wait 5 minutes to get them ready. Deku would then say, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Me and Bakugo have fought multiple times, with me winning a few and him winning a few. Right now we're tied. And Uraraka would then ask, who won the last match? And Deku would then say, I did. If I win this one, I'll have 2 against him. I'll be in the lead. Uraraka would then say, awesome, it's a fated battle between rivals. And Deku would say, you got that right. Afterwards, Bakugo, Ida, Uraraka, and Deku would start the test. Deku would then walk in with Uraraka, telling her that Bakugo will most likely come charging at him. Naturally, not charging at him, but come charging at him with a distraction. He knows about how strong my quirk is, so you stay behind me. Uraraka would then take his advice, while Bakugo would then come charging at Deku, not with an explosion, but with a right hook. Deku would then turn to his side, grab his arm, try to flip him over, but then Bakugo in midair as Deku holds him would launch an explosion in Deku's face. But Deku would then counter this by letting out an optic blast. Deku has a visor now, so he can much better focus them, and then he would carve out a square where Bakugo's standing. He would then fall to the bottom of the floor. He would go down 1 story, Then Uraraka and Deku would run off. Bakugo would blast back up, and Deku would shoot at the ceiling, knocking down rubble on top of Bakugo. Then with 6% one for all, come charging at Bakugo with a kick. In this scenario, Deku knows how to fight. He won't just simply try to mimic All Might, so he will use kicks and punches, and headbutts. He would then kick Bakugo in the face, sending him flying across the room. But Bakugo would then gain his balance back by using his explosions, coming at Deku with a big explosion. Deku would then counter with a blast. Then Bakugo would finally had enough of it. He would then pull the pin on his gauntlets, while All Might would say, "Bakugo, stop, he'll die." And Bakugo would say, "Like hell he will." Afterwards, he would release the blast, and Deku would then look at him with his visor, doing a wide shot blast, keeping it back, but then doing a concussive, sharpened blast. He would then hit Bakugo in the stomach, sending him flying back all the way out through the building, going into another building across the way, knocking him out. That would then take care of Bakugo. And All Might would then tell Deku, hold back a little bit more. And Deku would then tell him, if I had held back, I would have been severely injured. All Might would then look at Deku worriedly. Afterwards, we cut to Ida going on his whole villain thing, like, heroes will not stop me. Both Uraraka and Deku would be laughing, and then Ida would see them. Afterwards, Deku would say, "Uraraka, you go get the bomb," while Deku's blasting at the ceiling, creating rubble. Uraraka would then use her quirk on that and take down Ida with a cosmic home run. Afterwards, she would then latch onto the bomb. The heroes winning, with a lot of time to spare. Afterwards, we cut to everyone else finishing up, leading with Deku and Uraraka both being the MVP. This time, Momo wouldn't have anything to judge about it except for the destruction of property. She wouldn't say Deku didn't let Uraraka help, because in this scenario, he let her use her quirk to win for their team. Afterwards, we'd see Bakugo in Recovery Girl's office with Deku sitting over him, saying like, "What's up, sleepyhead?" Bakugo would wake up and say, "I lost, right?" Afterwards, Deku would say, "Yes, you did. Who's in the lead now?" Bakugo would then smirk and call him a sunglasses freak. They would both fist bump and leave out of Recovery Girl's office. They would then meet Ida and Uraraka, and all four of them would walk to the station. The next day, Deku would be walking to school and see a bunch of reporters. They will all swarm him with questions, and Deku would be answering like, "All Might is a great teacher. Possibly, he's even greater at teaching than he is at being a hero." And everyone else would laugh at this. And a female reporter would then say, "Why are you wearing sunglasses right now?" And Deku would then say, "It's all part of my look, baby." Deku would then be flirting with the reporter, causing her to blush. Afterwards, the male reporter would be like, "This kid's good." Afterwards, Deku would then walk into UA. Kaminari and everyone else would be talking about how they're celebrities now. And afterwards, they would be talking about how we're not celebrities, they just want a story about All Might. We're not that important. Afterwards, Eraserhead Aizawa would come into the classroom talking about how they need to decide their future. Mineta would then be scared like, "Please no more." Afterwards, Eraserhead would tell them they need to pick a class representative. Deku would be elected by both Ida, Uraraka, Momo, and Mineta. He would get 4 votes, and Deku would be a lot more confident. Also, Momo would be vice rep, making Uraraka a little bit jealous. Afterwards, Momo would say, "I'll do my best," and Deku would say, "You better," causing her to blush, and causing Uraraka to get even more angry and jealous. Afterwards, Uraraka, Momo, and Ida would both be in the lunchroom talking about how they just found out that Ida's family is from a hero agency. Like, he's from a long line of heroes. Uraraka would then say, "You must be super rich." Ida would then say, "We're comfortable." Afterwards, the alarm would go off with Ida grabbing one of the students and the student telling him that the alarm's going off. It must be a villain attack. Everyone within crowd the hallways panicking. In this scenario, Deku and Ida would both see the reporters. Deku would then use 6% one for all, jumping from wall to wall like Gran Torino, until he got to the exit sign. He would then be up on the roof holding on to the exit sign. He would then tell everyone, "It's just the reporters." Everyone would then calm down, and afterwards Aizawa would tell them about going to the USJ. All of them would load up to the bus, and they would start heading there. Everyone would then talk about how Deku and All Might's quirks are so similar, and everyone would then ask Deku, why does he always wear his sunglasses? Deku would then say, "Why? Do I not look good in these?" Everyone would then say, "You look cool," and all the girls say, "Yeah, you do." Afterwards, Deku would explain, he can't really control his quirk. He can't really see without the glasses on, because if he opens his eyes, a huge energy blast will come out of them. Optic blast will come out of them. Everyone would be like, "How do you generate so much power?" And he would then explain how the power is from an alternate reality, where it's full of energy. Basically, my quirk has limitless potential, and if I master it, I should be able to make energy barriers and shoot beams out of my hands. And my eyes won't have to constantly be covered by the glasses or my visor. Everyone would be like, "Oh, so, can you only see in red?" "Yeah." Everyone would then be like really sad for Deku, and Deku would be like, "Why be sad for me? My quirk's extremely powerful. I'm gonna be the number one with this." Bakugo would then say, "Like hell you are." And everyone would then talk about how Bakugo's personality isn't the best. We cut to them all being at the USJ, and 13 being there. Uraraka would fangirl out, and Deku would say, "13's a pretty impressive hero. Your quirks are very similar. I bet you'll do great as a hero one day, Uraraka," causing her to blush, and Yaoyorozu to pinch Deku's arm. Deku would say, "Ow," and he would ask, "What was that for?" Yaoyorozu would say, "Nothing." Afterwards, Aizawa would then tell 13 about All Might not having any more time. Because All Might gave Izuku his quirk a little bit earlier, he'll be running out of time at a fast rate, but not that fast. Then the villain attack will come, with Kirishima saying, "Is that part of it too? Part of our hero training?" Aizawa would then say no, rushing in, taking out a few villains. Deku would then take off his visor and shooting a full power energy blast, knocking out at least half of the villains that came out at that point. Then the Nomu and Tomura would step out. Afterwards, what's his name again? The portal guy. Kurogiri. That's his name. Kurogiri would then come out after everyone. Bakugo and Kirishima would then attack him, and he would then say, "You are UA students. I should have expected this." Afterwards, 13 would try something, but before anything could happen, Deku would then blast the portal guy. Oh my god, I just learned his name again. The portal guy away. Blast Kurogiri away. I'm sorry about all my mistakes right now. He would then cause him to be sent flying into a wall. He would be knocked out, but he would then teleport back to Shigura. Tomura. It's hard to say all these names. Sorry, guys. Tomura would be mad at Deku, but Deku would then put back on his visor and make a laser blast, blasting it through Tomura's arm, causing him to be extremely furious, but not being able to see who shot the blast. The Nomu would then come charging at Deku. Deku would then be using 6% one for all, dodging most of the Nomu strikes. Everyone, including the students, would be taking down villains. Ida would then escape to warn All Might and the rest of the heroes. At this time, Deku would be fighting the Nomu. He would then use 100% one for all in his arm, punching the Nomu, doing nothing. The Nomu would then smack Deku away and charge at him. Deku would then be using his visor, turning up the power, blasting at Nomu. Kinda like how Juggernaut charged at Scott Summers with his full power. He would then point the blast at Nomu, blasting at him. More power, as Nomu keeps closing in through the blast. More, until he's tapped out. His eyes are starting to hurt. He would then use his quirk with 100% One For All, blasting the Nomu into ashes. This would then cause Deku's eyes to bleed. It wouldn't cause any serious damage, but it would be extremely painful. If he had let One For All and his quirk at full power keep going, he would have went blind. But because he didn't do it, only did it for a brief second, it didn't cause any major damage. But you would then look behind the Nomu and see that half of the USJ has been destroyed. Luckily, there was no one there. Conveniently, he didn't kill anyone. Afterwards, everyone would be left shocked. Deku would then pass out because of the strain on his body. Momo and Uraraka will both run towards him, saying, "Are you okay, Deku? Are you okay?" He would be like, "I'm fine. Just get me to Recovery Girl." Shigaraki would then be like, "How? They cheated! They cheated! They cheated!" Kurogiri would then tell Tomura Shigaraki that they need to go. He would then be fuming furiously at the mouth, foaming, if you will. They would then teleport away, with All Might busting into the door. He would then say, "I am here," without a smile on his face. Then he would see that half the USJ has been destroyed. Deku's unconscious, and he would run towards Deku. Afterwards, he would then take Deku to Recovery Girl. Note this, he didn't have to go plus Ultra to defeat the Nomu, meaning his time would have increased beyond the point of our normal All Might. Recovery Girl would then heal Deku's eyes, saying, "You can never do that again. If you had done that for any longer, you would have gone blind." Momo and Uraraka would both run in, asking if Deku's okay. He would say, I'm fine. And they would then both be crying, saying, "Don't do anything like that again, stupid." Recovery Girl and All Might would then leave Deku alone, smiling pervertedly. Not pervertedly, but with a all these girls around you, Deku. Like something like that. Deku would then apologize to both of them for being so reckless. Afterwards, Ida and Baku would then walk in and be like, "Are you okay, Deku?" Baku would be like, "I knew you'd be fine, but I never knew your quirk could be that powerful." Deku would then say, "It probably can be a lot more powerful." Deku would then tell Baku, "I might have some adjustments to my costume to make." Afterwards, they will all walk home. Afterwards, sorry for saying afterwards too much. Then we cut to them being back in class and Eraserhead telling them that they have something big to do. And Mineta would say, "More villains?" And Deku would be like, "Bring it." But no. Eraserhead would tell them it's a sports festival, and this will give them 1 week to prepare. Deku would have went to the, what's it called again? The quirk gear place. He would just get his costume redone. But he wouldn't be able to use his costume or anything like that. He would then grab his visor and run outside, practicing his blast. He would then learn how to do Scott Summers' super trigonometry to an even greater degree. He would then be practicing with that extremely. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having trouble. This is a long recording session. He would then use his blast to blast off telephone poles. His optic beams bouncing back and forth. Then his blast would hit right at Deku. And Deku would realize, I have resistance towards my own energy blast. Uraraka and Momo would then come to say hello to Deku. Uraraka would have brought some apples, and Yajirozu would have brought some mangoes. I just bring up random fruit because I love mangoes and apples. They would then look at each other scowling, and look at Deku, holding their baskets in front of him, telling him, "Take one." Deku would be scared, so he would grab both of them and eat them at the exact same time. Then both of them would be looking all gloomy. Then Deku would kiss both of them on the foreheads, telling them, "How can I choose one when they're both so sweet?" Then this would cause them to blush hysterically. Bakugo and Ito would then come by, saying hi to Deku, and Mineta would come by, saying, "I brought that magazine you wanted." And then Uraraka and Momo would then look at the magazine and tear it to pieces. Deku would be like, "No! Why would you do?" And then he would be like, "Okay," well, as they're just scowling at him. All 5 of them would begin training. In this scenario, they will all know about Ting and Ida's reciprocal burst and Bakugo's Howler Impact. They will all begin to train with one another. Uraraka would get more martial arts training because Deku would be constantly using 6% of One For All to fight with her. She wouldn't become a master, but she would be at least halfway at the level of when she did her work study with Gunhead. Momo would then train with Deku as well, getting pretty proficient with a bow staff. Because Deku would then suggest her, "Don't make multiple weapons, get proficient with one." Afterwards, after a few days of this, like half a week, they will all, not half a week, that's too short, 5 days of training, they will all go back for the last 2 days and train by themselves, getting prepared to the best of their abilities. We cut to the sports festival. In this scenario, Deku would be asked to come up and give the speech. He would then come up and say, "We're all UA students and we're all gunning for the top, so let's do our damnedest out there." Everyone would then cheer. Afterwards, Deku would say, "But I'm gonna win this." Everyone would then be mad at Deku, but Deku would then explain why he said this. He would say, "Who goes into a battle thinking that they'll lose? If you're truly a UA student, you go into anything knowing you'll win." Everyone would then be silent. Then they would cheer at the top of their lungs, saying, "That kid's right! I'm gonna win!" Everyone would then be like, "Yes, we're gonna win!" And Deku would raise his fist to this crowd. And everyone would raise their fist with him. And he would say, "Let's go beyond, plus ultra." Afterwards, we get to the race. Aizawa would then tell everyone, the race will begin in 3, 2, 1. Everyone would blast forward, with Todoroki trying to freeze everyone. But Deku would then jump forward, blasting at the ground with his optic blast, being sent flying farther than being sent farther than Todoroki. He would then flip forward, running, using 6% of One For All. He would then see the zero pointers, and he would then blast one of them in the head. This would then take it down, but he blasted at a point where it would fall on the others. Same way Shoto did. I'm sorry if I keep switching their names. It's hard for me to do this. I haven't recorded for this long before. He would then blast the robots. It would fall on everyone else, same way Shoto did. He would then zoom by. He would then see the chasm, jump up, blast at the ground, but he would be jumping up with 6% One For All, getting him at least 10% across the chasm. Blast at the ground where he was standing, getting him all the way across. He would then flip up onto his feet, landing safely on the ground. He would then see the minefield, and since he's much farther along than everyone else because of the speed he's going at, everyone else is still trying to get by the chasm, he will be halfway through the mines as they're right there. Deku would then jump up, blast himself to the finish line. They would say, "Oh, he won, woo." In this scenario, the person who would come in second place would be Bakugo, because he's done training with Deku, who was much more powerful than him. Deku would be getting 10 million points, and everyone else wouldn't want to be on his team, except for Momo, Uraraka, and Mineta. Mineta would be the one on top because of how small he is, and he would use his purple balls to catch anyone. Oh yeah, and Mei Hatsume would be on their team too, because she still wants to show off her babies because Deku would have had the highest score. In this scenario, Bakugo would come charging at them with Mina. Oh my god, what's his Red Riot? That would be, yeah, I can't remember his name. I just forgot his name. Red Riot and the Electric Eye. Afterwards, they would come at them with Shoto's team coming right at them as well, with Ida and the rest of the gang. They would try to, but Deku would be using his optic blast to make lines, making them afraid. But then, they will all come at Deku together. Then he would take off his visor, causing them all to pull back. But this was just a bluff, as Mei and her babies blast off into the sky, with Uraraka making them weightless. Moneta would then throw balls on the ground, catching almost everyone, except for Bakugo and Shoto. They will all be stuck in their place, and they... Sorry about me cutting out for a minute, you guys. One of my family members just came in my room. Well, anyway, like I said before, everyone would be caught by Moneta's sticky balls, leading with Deku winning the cavalry battle. Everyone's going to be put into their little respective groups. Now, we cut to Shoto taking Deku aside and saying, objectively, I'm stronger than you. And Deku will be like, you're stronger than me. Did you see what I did to the USJ? He would then be like, And then he would ask, are you All Might's secret love child or something? Your quirks are so similar. Then Deku would be like, no, but I know you're the son of Endeavor. And he would be extremely mad to hear this. But then Deku would say, I know you have another side to your quirk. And Shoto would be like, And then Deku would say, use all your power, because trust me, if you don't, you'll lose. And he would then be like, did my dad put you up to this? And he would then say, nope, but even if he did, I would still be doing this. Afterwards, it would be the fight with Shinzo and Deku in the tournament round. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I spaced out for a bit. It would then be Shinzo versus Deku, with the tail guy warning Deku about his quirk. He would then get into the ring with Shinzo, and Shinzo would insult both Momo and Uraraka, knowing that Deku likes them. Deku would then fall for this trap, and then Shinzo would tell him to walk outside the ring. Deku would be thinking, I can't move! He would then have all the other users of One For All be looking at him. He would then jab with both of his fingers, breaking them, but the pain shocking Deku back awake. Deku would then look at Shinzo and he would be like, how? Then Deku would run at Shinzo with 6% of One For All, stopping just short, turning off One For All, grabbing his face, sweeping his legs, and pushing him back, causing his head to be flung straight at the ground, knocking him out, winning the match for Deku. Uraraka and Momo would be smiling, saying, Deku, you did it! Yeah! All the other matches will play out the same, including Uraraka's match, even if she has a little bit more training, and Momo's match. Deku would then fight Shoto like before, and in this scenario, they would both be basically even. Deku would tell Shoto, it's not your quirk. It's not his quirk, it's yours. He would then use his fire side, creating that fire ice thing like before. And Deku would then take off his visor, using half of his full power without using One For All to power it. That's a mouthful. This would destroy his blast, sending Shoto flying outside the ring. This would leave let's just say, for convenience sake, all the matches go exactly the same. And Bakugo and Deku will be the last two. This will be a match for the ages, with Bakugo coming at Deku with explosion after explosion after explosion. How it impacts Deku coming at Bakugo with concussive blast, widespread concussive blast, laser concussive blast, lasers in general cutting at the ring. This will be a fight for the ages, but Deku would then say, no more. He would then hold up one of his fingers, using 100% of one for all, flick at the ground, causing a dust storm while breaking his finger. He would then jump at Bakugo while Bakugo is in the air with explosions, grab his arm, fling him down to the ground, look up at the air, then blast straight down with at least 50% of his quirk's full power. Bakugo would then be hit by this, but then dodge. He would be severely injured, but then Deku wouldn't stop there. He would blast at the sky, and so it would propel him back down to the ground. He would then think about how he's been training for this. He would try to focus some of the energy from his optic blast into his fist. He would then connect with Bakugo. In this scenario, a 6% one-for-all smash would be stronger, but the energy pulse would then push Bakugo all the way down to the ground. Like, he would connect, hitting him down to the ground, but the energy would still be there, pouring into Bakugo. It's hard for me to explain this. It's like shockwaves of the energy pouring into Bakugo's body. Like, being hit once, then keep getting hit and hit and hit, like a jackhammer. Bakugo would then pass out from the stress, leading with Deku winning the match. Deku would be elected number 1, and Bakugo wouldn't be second place, but wouldn't be as mad with Shoto this time being in third place. All Might would then come give them their medals and tell them how good they did. Deku would then ask for All Might's mic and tell them, I told you I'd win. I'm not being confident. I just have faith in myself and in this school. I know most of you guys didn't get to show off your quirks, but this is our first year at UA. I know all of you will do better next year. I'm looking forward to facing all of you. And everyone would then clap for Deku, because he seemed to be so honorable. Then, we cut to the end of the sports festival with both Uraraka and Momo hanging off of Deku. And Deku will be looking at them saying, oh, why are you guys in the cheerleader outfits? And they would then say that Mineta tricked them, and Deku would then look at Mineta and give him a thumbs up as Uraraka and Momo pinch his cheeks. And not those cheeks, you guys. Pinch his face's cheeks. And that will be it for our video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more. And this has been King Majin signing out. Actually, not signing out. I want to get you guys' opinion on me doing my what ifs for this long. Or would you guys prefer them to be at least 12 minutes? Because if I keep going like this with my what ifs, it'll get a little bit more sloppy. So I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more. And the next part of this will be out hopefully tomorrow. Peace.